They don't rule kingdoms, they own worlds. From private islands to billion-dollar jets, these princes aren't just rich, they redefine wealth itself. Welcome to a realm of untouchable power where legacy meets indulgence. This isn't fairy tale royalty, it's real money, real power, and no limits. Royal wealth, a world apart. When most people think of royalty, they picture crowns, ceremonies, and political duty, but what if we told you there's an elite class of princes, not crowned, not ruling, but richer than entire governments, who operate in the shadows of palaces, living lives of unimaginable opulence without the burden of power? This is not about monarchs or heirs to thrones. This is a world apart, a world where titles are secondary to fortune. These are princes of leisure, billionaires in royal robes who don't run countries but dominate the global luxury landscape. From the Persian Gulf to Southeast Asia, from palatial estates hidden behind gold-encrusted gates to fleets of custom private jets lined with diamond-studded fixtures, these men exist in a reality that most of us can't even begin to comprehend. They are not on magazine covers. They only own the companies that print them. They aren't building armies. They're buying islands, art collections, and entire airlines. Each name on this list is handpicked for one reason. They represent power without politics, luxury without limitation. And here's the twist: crown princes are not included. This list isn't about rulers, it's about royalty that rules nothing, but owns everything. They operate with freedom, with discretion, and with access to wealth so vast it's nearly untraceable. So buckle up, because what you're about to see isn't just excess, it's a study in pure, unrestricted privilege. You'll step inside a realm where money bends reality, where legacy is wrapped in gold leaf, and where the line between fantasy and real life has long been erased. Welcome to the world of the righteous princes who never had to wear the crown because their bank balance already ruled the world. Prince William, the billionaire in waiting. When your grandmother is Queen Elizabeth and your destiny is the throne, the world expects tradition. But Prince William, heir to the British monarchy, isn't just waiting around in Buckingham Palace sipping tea. He's already amassed a personal fortune estimated at $30 million, 0 cents. Unlike other princes on this list, William's wealth doesn't come from oil or corporate empires. It comes from dynastic inheritance, strategic investments, and a family name that's branded like a luxury label. He inherited nearly $13 million, 0 cents from Princess Diana alone. Add to that a trust from the Queen Mother and a military salary from his time in the Royal Air Force, and you've got a portfolio that's quietly growing. But don't be fooled by the royal duties and polished photo ops. Behind the scenes, William enjoys the trappings of the ultra-rich. Multi-million-dollar estates like Anmer Hall, custom Land Rovers, luxury getaways to Mustique, and private helicopters for weekend retreats. And then there's the real game: influence. Prince William doesn't have to run companies or build skyscrapers. His name opens doors across global politics, philanthropy, and media. His charitable foundation has channeled millions into mental health and climate initiatives, all while reinforcing the public image of a modern royal. But unlike the billionaires who flaunt their jets on Instagram, William's power is wrapped in tradition and protected by the crown. He plays a long game, rooted in legacy, visibility, and a subtle form of influence that transcends market trends. He may not be the richest prince on this list, but make no mistake, his wealth is symbolic, strategic, and untouchable. Prince Al-Waleed bin Talal, the investment tycoon. He doesn't trend, he doesn't speak publicly, but Prince Mansour bin Zayed Al Nahyan of the United Arab Emirates may be the most powerful prince you've never heard speak. As the half-brother to the president of the UAE and deputy prime minister, Prince Mansour is a cornerstone of the Abu Dhabi royal family. But what makes him different? A net worth estimated well over $20 billion, 0 cents, and growing. Most of it funneled through strategic global holdings that span continents. This isn't the wealth of flashy cars and gold-plated yachts, though he certainly owns them. No, Prince Mansour plays the long game. He is the mastermind behind Mubadala Investment Company, a sovereign wealth fund managing over $300 billion, 0 cents in assets, including stakes in space exploration, energy, artificial intelligence, and tech startups. And yet for the world, he's best known for one glittering move. He bought Manchester City Football Club. Under his ownership, the club has transformed from a struggling underdog into one of the most valuable sports franchises in the world, bringing in global fans, championships, and legacy. But even that is just the tip of the iceberg. Through a complex web of subsidiaries, Prince Mansour real estate in London, energy sets across Africa, and luxury hotels in Europe and Asia. Unlike other princes, he does not broadcast his lifestyle. He distinguishes systems that silently rule entire industries. He's young, methodical, and surrounded by some of the sharpest financial minds on the planet. Every move he makes ripple across markets. When he buys, companies soar. When he exits, CEOs scramble. Prince Mansour's wealth isn't just staggering, it's structured, strategic, and impervious. In a world of ostentation, he is the exception. A shadow king with a checkbook that can shift geography. Prince Azim of Brunei, the playful millionaire. Forget tradition, forget restraint. Prince Al-Waleed bin Talal of Saudi Arabia is royalty unchained. With an estimated net worth that once soared above $20 billion, 0 cents, Al-Waleed is not just a prince, he's a one-man global investment machine. Known as the Warren Buffett of the Middle East, this Saudi royal didn't wait to inherit his fortune, he built it. Through Kingdom Holding Company, Al-Waleed made massive early bets on companies like Citigroup, Apple, Twitter, and Disney, positions that turned into multi-billion-dollar wins. But his investments are just one part of the legend. Al-Waleed lives in a palace worth over $500 million, 0 cents, complete with 317 rooms, gold-plated fixtures, and a marble fountain court. He owns a private Airbus, a 380 Super Jumbo jet, a flying palace that was customized with a Turkish bath and a stable for his horses, estimated value over $500 million, 0 cents. This prince isn't just rich, he's opulent, audacious, and unapologetic. But it's not all yachts and skyscrapers. Al-Waleed has also positioned himself as a progressive force in the Arab world, supporting women's rights and modernization long before it became mainstream in Saudi Arabia. His philanthropy spans over $3 billion, 0 cents in donations, funding education, disaster relief, and medical research around the globe. However, not all his headlines are flattering. In 2017, he was arrested and detained during Saudi Arabia's infamous anti-corruption crackdown. Locked inside the Ritz-Carlton Riyadh, he was held for nearly 3 months before being released in what many believe was a multi-billion-dollar settlement. Still, even that couldn't dent his legacy. Prince Al-Waleed emerged more powerful, more guarded, and more iconic than ever. He's not just a prince, he's a global player, a corporate titan, and a symbol of what modern royalty looks like in the age of billions. Prince Bolkiah, the billionaire footballer. If there were ever a prince who redefined the word excess, Prince Jefri Bolkiah of Brunei would be the gold standard. Known as the brother of the Sultan of Brunei, Jefri didn't inherit the throne, But he did inherit access to a family fortune estimated at over $30 billion, 0 cents. And what did he do with it? He spent faster than anyone in modern history. According to official records, Jefri once burned through $50 million, 0 cents a month, every single month, on yachts, palaces, private jets, and thousands of luxury cars. Yes, thousands. At one point, Jefri owned over 2,300 cars, including Ferraris, Bentleys, Aston Martins, and Rolls-Royces, many custom-built with his initials or royal insignia embroidered into the seats. He owned 5 yachts, all named after his girlfriends, and if that weren't enough, he reportedly commissioned a private resort filled with life-size gold statues of himself and his lover in intimate poses. Yes, you read that right. But behind the indulgence was a man whose spending eventually shook an entire nation's economy. As finance minister, Jefri allegedly funded billions from Brunei's investment agency into his own lifestyle. When his brother Sultan Hassan al-Bolkiah found out, a massive legal war erupted. The result? Jefri was stripped of many of his positions and ordered to return billions in assets. But even today, he continues to live in luxury, with a portfolio of homes in London, New York, and Paris. Despite the controversies, his legacy remains one of jaw-dropping extravagance. Prince Jefri didn't just live like a king. He lived like a myth. He may not be a ruler, but his lifestyle tells the story of what happens when you have unlimited money and 0 limits. Prince Jefri Bolkiah, the billion-dollar spender. You might expect royalty to live behind palace gates, unseen, untouchable. But Prince Abdul Mateen of Brunei does the opposite. He invites the world in. On social media, he's a global heartthrob. In real life, he's one of the most powerful and lecturable living princes on earth. At just over 30, Prince Mateen has already crafted a lifestyle that rivals billionaires twice his age. He's a trained military pilot, an international polo champion, and a diplomat. But what truly sets him apart is the modern billionaire meets royal influencer energy he brings to the table. With over 500,000 followers on Instagram, his feed looks like a James Bond movie come to life. Think helicopters, selfies, luxury yachts in the Maldives, Rolexes, Aston Martins, and tigers as pets. He's known for cruising his kingdom's coastline with friends, often docked at private islands owned by his family, complete with full staff, security teams, and floating helipads. But don't be fooled by the influencer image. Prince Mateen is part of Brunei's $30 billion 0 cents royal fortune, giving him access to nearly unlimited wealth. His family's oil empire funds a lifestyle where anything he wants is already his. He's been seen at diplomatic events rubbing shoulders with global leaders, and then, days later, training with the military in full tactical gear. It's this dual identity that fascinates the world, the glamorous royal who's also a warrior, a schooler, and an heir with a global brand. And don't underestimate his influence. As Brunei prepares for a new generation of leadership, many believe Prince Mateen is being groomed to take center stage, with charm, power, and the wealth to shape a nation and beyond. Prince Abdul Mateen, the modern power prince. Most princes have cars. This one has a kingdom of horsepower. Prince Faisal bin Turki of Saharia isn't just known for his royal lineage, he's internationally renowned for owning one of the most extensive and expensive supercar collections on Earth. We're talking bespoke Bugattis, gold-plated Ferraris, limited edition Paganisses, and custom Lamborghinis, many of which have never even touched a public road. His collection is rumored to include over 400 vehicles, and not just ordinary ones, some worth up to $20 million, 0 cents each. But here's what sets him apart. Every car in his collection is modified to be completely unique. Custom interiors with real diamonds, steering wheels inlaid with emeralds, and exteriors so exotic, entire factories were commissioned just to paint them. And where are they all kept? Not just in garages, in private aircraft hangars, in warehouses that look like art museums. Some even travel with him on private cargo jets, just so he can cruise in comfort no matter the country. This isn't just about driving, it's about dominating a global culture of automotive status. Prince Faisal has turned cars into power symbols, appearing at global expos and auto festivals with fleets of hypercars, some so rare they've only been seen once in public. He's even been credited with influencing global luxury car trends, pushing automakers to create ultra-desktop builds tailored to his vision. When Faisal wants a new toy, the world's top engineers take notes. And for all the opulence, he keeps a surprisingly low profile. No interviews, no reality shows, just glimpses, grainy shots of a gold Mercedes wagon pulling up to a private airport, or an unreleased Misteclaren hidden behind tinted windows. In the world of royal extravagance, Prince Faisal isn't just in the fast lane. He owns the road. Prince Mansour bin Zayed Al Nahyan, the oil-fueled investor. When most billionaires buy property, they look for prestige. When Prince Mohammed bin Salman buys a home, he makes history. At just 39, the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia is already the most powerful figure in the kingdom. But beyond the politics, beyond the oil wealth, lies a story that starts with one of the most expensive private residences ever purchased, the Chateau Louis Extobure, located just outside Paris. Price tag, $300 million, 0 cents. Styled pure French royal grandeur as 21st century emperor. This isn't a mansion, it's a palace, conceived with a moat, a nightclub, a wine cellar, a marble hammam, and a gold leaf fountain show choreographed by the same engineers who built the fountains of Bellagio in Las Vegas. The estate even has a private cinema, luxury stables, and an underground aquarium visible through a glass ballroom floor. But the chateau is only one piece of MBS's global real estate puzzle. He also owns a super rich worth $500 million, 0 cents, originally designed for a Russian oligarch, complete with a spa, helipad, and even an onboard beach club. It's a floating fortress of indulgence. Add in luxury homes across Saudi Arabia, and MBS has secured his place in a new category of royalty, not just a prince, but a global symbol of power, opulence, and uncompromising vision. Critics have questioned his spending, especially amid economic reforms and calls for austerity in Saudi Arabia, but MBS doesn't flinch. To him, luxury isn't a distraction, it's a tool, a message, a statement to the world that Saudi Arabia isn't just rising, it's already at the top. And whether you love him or fear him, one thing is clear. Prince Mohammed bin Salman isn't just living like a king. He's redefining what it means to be royal in the modern world. The richest of all, unmasking the ultimate prince. Most princes flex with private jets and sports franchises, but Prince Aga Khan operates on a higher plane. His culture and his wealth is measured in timeless legacy. A member of the Aga Khan royal lineage, Prince Ayman is more than a billionaire. He is a guardian of heritage, a curator of civilization. Educated at Harvard and Harvard Law, he's fluent in several languages and globally respected not for what he owns, but for what he protects. And make no mistake, his family fortune exceeds $13 billion, 0 cents. But instead of castles or car collections, Prince Amini's power lies in art, architecture, and humanity. He oversees the Aga Khan Trust for Culture, revitalizing historic cities, preserving Islamic art, and launching museums that rival the Louvre in scale and depth. One of the crown jewels, the Aga Khan Museum in Toronto, which houses artifacts that span 1,000 years of human history, a collection that could outmatch national museums in entire countries. He also plays a central role in the Aga Khan Development Network, which spans 30 countries and employs over 80,000 people, investing in healthcare, education, and cultural preservation. And though he's technically not a state leader, he carries the influence of a global statesman, welcomed by heads of state, honored by universities, and respected by royalty across Europe and the Middle East. But there's still elegance, still luxury. Prince Ayman is known for his understated taste, private residences filled with museum, quality art, vintage wine, and custom pieces from freely renowned architects. And unlike other billionaires, he's never had to shout his wealth. He whispers it in mosaics, in restorations, in a legacy that will outlive trends and tittles. This isn't the prince of power. This is a prince of preservation who holds the wealth of the world's past and uses it to shape the future. Beyond thrones and crowns, these princes command empires. Some build legacies in silence, others carve their names into marble and gold, but all leave one message: royalty isn't born, it's built. Like, subscribe, and tell us which prince rules your imagination. More secrets of the elite coming next.